Okay, I finished part one. I added titles and so forth, axes, labels, and all that to my histogram, and finished part one. Sorry, finished 2.1 with my observation 5, and so I'm gonna move this kind of out of the way here, I suppose. And what I want to do is go to 10 observations, so I'm going to be filling this in the middle. Again, the way to go is just copy this. So move or copy sheet. Go up here, copy. And now it says 5 sampling disk 2. Well, I'm going to change that to 10 and get rid of the 2, and I'm going to put it at the end, and I think that's everything, so I say OK. And notice here I am with 10, and everything is the same and all that. Now so what I need to do is add 5 columns in the middle of here somewhere, and I could start here and go over 5 columns. I could start here and go over 5 columns, enter them to the left, as long as they get entered between this column and that column somewhere. So I think because this one's a little wider and so forth, I'm gonna go here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say insert columns left. Now what I'm going to do is, to make sure I've got this right, I'm going to just fill that in like I did before, and that should end up at observation 10. Great. And now to copy these over, I can just grab that, fill that in. And so that works great. Now, in my particular spreadsheet, every spreadsheet has little things that are different. Some things better, some things worse. Here, in this case, I can, if I want, just double click on this little button over here on the bottom right. But if you're in Excel, I don't think you can do that because this column's already filled in. And so what you do is just re-highlight just the ones that aren't filled in underneath, and you can double click, and there we have 0 through 10. Now this is a little wide. It doesn't need to be this wide. I'm going to go in here and well, I'm going to try. It's being slow, I think. There we go. I'm going to highlight all those, and I'm changing the column width. It's at 0.89. I'm going to change it to 0.4. Say OK. And now, I can still see all my data and so forth, but I can also see my bins. And notice that, that by filling in the middle, the frequencies were all updated. All this was updated. If you want to make sure, you can always click on something and notice that the average is going from C2 to L2, right? That's what we needed. And of course, the frequency just pointed to column B. So as long as column B got updated, it got updated. And so then our plot got updated, our histogram got updated. We didn't have to do anything there. I'm going to move it over this way a little bit so I can see it all. Move it up a little bit, I guess. Now the only problem is it says 5 observations. Well, you can edit that, and so I'm going to change that to 10 observations, and click that. So now that's 10 observations. So my histogram's been updated. The average and the standard error have been updated. But the sample size now is 10. And that updated this box, but I should go in here and change that 5 to a 10. But notice again, see the standard error of the mean, it got smaller. But how much smaller? Oh, well, about 2.6 divided by the square root of 10. Our sample size, square root of 10. And you see those are about the same number. And so that quickly I was able to go from 5 to 10 observations. As long as I had everything ready for it, I could just copy that sheet, insert some columns in the middle here, and everything updated beautifully. This is the beauty of spreadsheets. You don't have to do near that much work with them, and and they're very helpful. I just had to go in and edit some numbers with making that 5 into a 10, that 10, and that 10 there. Everything else updated, and it was that fast going from 5 to 10. Technology can be wonderful. It can be very frustrating at times, but it can also be very wonderful. All right, that does it for going to 10 observations.